Hello and welcome to the My Wool Mitten podcast. I'm just jumping on today. It's Sunday, January 21st, 2024, to give you this little bonus episode or a bonus clip before we officially start our Sock Spin Along 24 on the My Wool Mitten podcast and on Instagram. So I've had a few questions, and first I should pause and say thank you to everyone who's shown an interest in participating. It makes me so happy. Many of you are returning. You've done this once, twice, this the third time. Some of you are new, and so I just welcome all of you. And anyone at any level is welcome to participate. This is going to be relaxed, and it's mostly meant to be encouraging. Now, that being said, I thought it might be important to clarify a few things because I've had questions about this. This is not a learn to spin make along. It's not a learn to knit make along. And it's not a learn to make socks knit along. This is not a place where I'm going to show you how to teach you how to do all of those things. If you don't already spin, if you don't already knit, if you already knit but you haven't knit socks, we might be able to help you some, but that's not what this is about. This is for someone who already knows how to spin, who already knows how to knit. Maybe you've spun for sock yarn before, maybe you've knit socks before, maybe you haven't, but this is not a how-to video for knitting or spinning. So just to get that out of the way, and you're still welcome to follow along to see if this is something you'll want to try at some point, but there are many, many other resources and places to get you started doing that. So be sure to check out someone local to you if you can, to an online class, something like that. But again, this is not a learn to spin video, and it's not a learn to knit video or crochet if you were by chance crocheting. So I just wanted to clear that up because I've had some people ask me about where they would get started. And this is just to help you along to making a successful sock yarn and pair of socks. And it's also just the way I do things. I hope that this might help you, encourage you, help you to realize that if it doesn't go exactly right, that's okay. They're either going to fit somebody, the socks are going to fit somebody else, or you can frog the yarn and use it over, or you can give them for charity. So don't overthink it too much. A little disclaimer here, lest you think me a fraud. I am not a technical spinner. I can't tell you grist or twist angle or explain what drafting technique is best. Just think of this as me having you here to the farm, and after we go to the barn and visit the sheep, we'll come back up to the house, we'll sit down in the front room, and I'll show you how I spin a sock yarn. You can even try on some of these samples. I hope you'll think of this as a way for you to experiment with a small project in a smaller amount of time to make something uniquely your own. And then you might have confidence to tackle a larger, more complicated project, like a garment. I've got some socks laid out on the table here. Oh, and I also hope that you don't think this is the table where I eat. So if you come over to have cake or cookies or coffee or pie, we'll have a clean table to sit at. But I wanted to show you some socks that I've made over the years. And I'll talk more about them when we actually get into the episodes. But just to give you an idea, this sock here is probably my oldest hand knit sock. It's the thinnest. It was spun with a down breed mixed with mohair, and it's worn exceptionally well, but I don't wear it that often because it's so thin it doesn't keep my feet warm enough. But it has held up really well. The second pair here is a pair that I knit a couple of years ago. It is featuring my bunny toes blend, my Angora and Corriedale and alpaca blend. This pair is warm, but it doesn't, and it's held up. It's not showing much wear, but it's you can see the difference in size. It's a little bit loose and baggy. This pair is the pair I did last year, and this was using the pattern from Emilia, who is at Emilia Style, and I used part of her pattern. This had a lot more Angora down through here, and that has fuzzed up quite a bit. It also had a little bit more alpaca in the blend. That was a Finn sheep and alpaca blend, and had a little bit more alpaca than I would have liked. But they are wearing well and they're warm. This pair I'll talk a little bit more by itself. This one back here, I love the pattern, I don't know why I never finished it, but I use it often for, so it doesn't get worn, but I use it in sock knitting and spinning classes. And I'll talk a little bit about why I like that too when we get into the podcast. So anyway, just some clarification, just to tell you that this is not a learn how to spin and not a learn how to knit, but it is to learn how to spin sock yarn and learn how to use that in socks. So think about the construction of socks that you like, that you want to spin for. Are you using it for boots? Are you using it for shoes? And think about where your socks wear out fastest, whether it's a commercial sock or a hand knit sock. Many people say it's the toes. Many people say it's the heels. For me, myself, it's neither. It's the spot just beyond the toe, like on the pad of my foot. And so that's why I've gotten to doing like colorwork strips there to give me a little extra cushion and a little extra reinforcement. And that's worked really well. And I've also discovered something, I think, I'm going to test it out this year in my sock, about the fit of a sock and how to keep it staying up, especially inside of my tall boot socks or tall boots. You're not seeing my big tall boot socks that I knit the first year here because I was looking for them, and actually I have them on my feet. I wear them a lot. So I'm going to try to make another pair of those this year. So anyway, just that few minutes. I hope you're doing well today, and I hope you're staying warm, or if you're in a hotter part of the world or a place where it's summer right now, I hope you're staying cool. But I hope this doesn't discourage you. I hope it does the opposite. I hope it encourages you to come back and see about spinning for socks. I'm no expert, and I'm not giving you anything technical in the upcoming resources. I'm just here to encourage you and show you how easy it is to sample and to try and to make something that wool is so forgiving and so hardworking that it really deserves a place in our sock drawer, don't you think? So be sure to come back on Wednesday, the 24th. That's also the day that the giveaway will close and that I'll announce the winner. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, visit my most previous episode. I'll link to it down below. And you can comment there to see about winning a fiber prize to kick off this year's Sock Spin-Along 24. So again, thanks for being here, and don't stress too much about the timeline or what you have on hand. We're going to talk more about what you need on Wednesday, so you don't have to be ready to start right up on Wednesday. You know, if you have something that you want to talk or work on that day, but if you don't get started that day, if you learn something on Wednesday that makes you change your mind about your fiber, well, that's okay too. So have a wonderful day, and be sure to come back on Wednesday. Follow me on Instagram if you don't already, and like and subscribe to this channel so you can see what's going on. Talk to you on Wednesday.